This is the Pilgrim Girls bonnet. You can download these instructions at pamelaspreschool.com. We start with a medium-sized paper sack. It's this height. A ruler, a pencil, some skinny tape, a hole punch, scissors, glue stick, paint, a foam paintbrush, and a blue or a yellow paint, acrylic paint that's washable. We'll also need to have a paper doily. This oblong shape works really well. It has a pretty pattern on it. And some lightweight ribbon. Okay, to start with, you're going to need to measure with your ruler 10 inches up, mark it on both sides, and then we are going to cut it across. This part is discarded. And now we want to cut along the crease right here all the way to the base of the sack on both sides. So I'm going to cut down this crease and down this crease. To get add stability to this bonnet, we're going to wrap this back inside of the sack, push it into the crease inside, and when we fold up the rest, we'll be covering this up and taping it. Okay, now we need to measure 2 inches on the crease right here. So that will be to here, and on this side as well. To here. Slit your sack those 2 inches up to that mark on both sides. And all of this needs to be done by an adult before the children do their project. This is kind of a tricky part. You need to fold this part up. It's a little bit awkward. I'm going to do it on my side, and then I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm folding it up all the way where it's cut on both sides and the back. The slit is so that it goes around the corner a little bit easier. Okay, that's our first fold. Now we're going to go up one more time so that it looks more like a finished bonnet edge. You'll have to scrunch your sack a little bit. Be patient with this part because it is kind of awkward. It looks something like that. Okay, now this metal piece that we had, it's a little bit long, so I'm going to fold it under just maybe a ½ inch and tape it just enough to tack it down. As you can see, this is the front of the bonnet. Here's the back. We want to prepare the sides to have strings to attach under the chin. So we'll again take a piece of tape, and you want it to be kind of long because it will wrap around. It will start on this side and wrap around and go on the inside. We are going to be making a hole punch right there. This reinforces the paper sack so that it doesn't tear when the children tie and untie their bonnets. We'll do that on the other side as well. Okay, so now we can make a hole. This side and this. This is the part where the children now get to do the fun things. They will get to paint. They can paint the entire surface the color that you choose. I chose blue. And when they're finished and it's dried, it dries rapidly because this is paper and it absorbs the paint. When it's all finished, then it will look something like this. And we will need to put on the lace. The lace is easy to prepare. I simply take this and cut it into 4 sections. And each of these pieces will be a little bit non-symmetrical, but they fit on very nicely. So we're going to do this part. The children can do this as well. So just give them the glue stick and put a nice line of glue here. Doesn't matter if you have extra glue because it disappears. And it will hold on. Now, if you have children that know how to tie knots, they can do the next part. Otherwise, while they're playing or doing something else, you can go ahead and put in the ribbons. These are 18 inches long. And I tie it so that it becomes a double knot inside of the hat. This does not end up being a problem for them because it's roomy enough that they don't feel a bump against their faces. And we want to have this taped down so that it doesn't get pulled apart. We will do the other side. Now when the children are ready to go home, it's fun to put these on them and let them go out the door and see their parents as a pilgrim little girl. The last thing we need to do to make this totally finished is to size it to the child's head. And that's what you do in the very back. With your scissors, you have an option of cutting once down the center or twice, once on each side, and making a fold there. I'm going to do just one just to show you the technique. So I've got this cut. Needs to be cut a little bit farther, maybe halfway. And then we just overlap those pieces like so. And it's fracturing just a little because of the seam of the sack itself. But when this is cut to the right measure, I don't like that. So I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit of a triangle, which you can take some license with this. Can you see what I did? Like that? And then we can bend it over like this and put a staple in the top and on the end, and it should fit much better. If it's a very small head, go ahead and do the 2 pleats in the back. And there you have the pilgrim.